Hello, this review concerns a bar of hemp shaving soap. This type of soap is refined from the cannabis plant, and this particular bar was produced by a small company based on the west coast of Canada, going by the name of Hempen Stuff, and I've included a link in the description as well. Now, this soap has a number of advantages and disadvantages, and I'll illustrate them to you right now. So here we have our soap, 2 safety razors and a glass of water. Now you see here that the soap is wrapped in cling film. This is by no means a perfect solution, in fact it is pretty messy, as you can see. Now the reason I've done this is because when you buy this soap, it's originally wrapped in a piece of paper or a thin piece of card. You want to remove that right away, because if you keep the paper on there, it's just gonna get very, very wet with each consecutive shave, and it's gonna sink and become part of the soap, which means that you've got to peel bits of it off gradually, which is not very desirable. Now you see here this safety razor is pretty old. The strip, the orange strip, is sort of fading away rapidly, and this razor has only been used once, so the strip is pretty intact. Now, the reason I point this out is because this soap confers a much better sort of longevity rate. When I used this razor for the first time earlier today, the difference between using this one in my most recent shaves was negligible. So essentially this soap is making your old blades feel great for longer. So it saves you money, and that is one of the big advantages. Now another big advantage is that the shave is such a good quality. The shave is very close, it's very smooth, the odour as well, coming from sort of your chin, as you'd expect, is rather nice. So right there you've got a couple more advantages of the soap. So let me just demonstrate the application process. So here we go, we've got our soap and we've got our new razor. Now I have tried to rather sneakily scrape the razor into the soap, but that just cakes your blade too much. It's a little bit lazy. You don't really want to do that. It's not very good if you want to have a nice shave. So it's a bit more simple what you have to do. You've just got to dip the soap in a little bit of water. So as you can see, it's nice and dampened. And then you just apply a bit to your face. I'm just going to do this because I've already shaved, so I'm just going to do this like that on the sort of the left jowl. And then you just sort of rub it a little bit, and you can see it rapidly comes out with a slight lather, but you don't need any more than that. That's all you really need. The slightest lather, and already you can see it gets kind of a sheen. It's almost like a really nice fine oil on your face rather than a big obvious kind of foamy lather. And then you just sort of gently run the blade down there like that. So as you can see, I've just tuck it down like that very nicely. Now essentially that's the only distinct part of the shave. You just need to wet the soap and then lightly apply it. Now you can be sort of a bit more liberal with it. The returns are pretty diminishing, although if you do use a generous amount, if you like, you'll have a rather nice smell all around, because the odour from this, it's very planty, but it's got like a really pleasant kind of herbal scent to it. It's like if you're using quite a decent brand of whatever herbal shampoo or something like that. You come out with a nice smell, which is very, very good. Now obviously there are drawbacks with this soap. It's no means perfect. Now you see here on my shirt, you can see there is a slight stain. That's from earlier on. Now when I shaved, I usually do shave with my shirt on. A lot of people don't, but when you've got it all around your face and you're shaving away like that, or downstroke and then second application upstroke, so on and so forth, flecks of the soap will come off. Now there are two ways you can mitigate the risk of this happening. You can pretty much just lather it in more. You can just press it more and more in to try and to sort of make it go down as fine as possibly can. You don't get any lumps left. Or, a lot simpler, you can just not shave with your shirt on, like I've done, because otherwise you run the risk of flecks of it coming off. So this is a little disadvantage, the messiness of it. If a bit of foam flew off your shave, you'd have no problem, you'd just brush it away and nobody's the wiser. So yeah, that's one of the disadvantages. The other disadvantage, again, it's the packaging issue. I mean, in the bathroom, I usually just keep this in a sort of a little soap bowl, and that's needed because if it's not wrapped, as you can see I've wrapped it in cling film, and it's not in a bowl, then it'll just rapidly decay to mush. So if you're a little bit of a lazy person and you've got kind of a bowl in your shower, or you just want to leave it on kind of a shelf in your shower even, you'll find that it just decays really rapidly and you get like a mushy sort of puddle of what was once a bar of soap, and that's obviously no good. So yeah, you need to take a bit of extra care with this. It's not encased in a tidy little puck like a bit of shaving soap, and obviously it's not bottled. So yeah, you do need to tend to it, which is another little disadvantage because obviously it's one more thing to consider on your morning or whenever you shave. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, on the whole, I'd probably give this soap a robust kind of 8.5 out of 10, because after you've used it, you know, you've got through a bar, you've made the usual mistakes that everybody makes with a quite novel new product like this. After you've done that, you've gone through those motions, you find that your quality of shave is much better. I mean, like I say, I've had to wait. You know, I've been able to wait even a further day in between shaves, which is handy if you're travelling or something like that, or if you're very, very busy. You know, you're not going to come off at the end of your trip or whatever with kind of like a shadow of stubble. Rather, you'll still have a relatively smooth chin for longer, which is lovely, you know. So on the whole, yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Check the link to Hempen Stuff's website, and they've got their phone number on there as well. There are numerous other suppliers, it has to be said. They all make essentially the same stuff. I suspect the quality, judging by a couple of the websites I've been on, the quality is pretty uniform. I mean, essentially, yeah, it's a bit of a fad product. You know, sort of the hemp element and all the rest of it. But like I say, you cannot deny the quality, so very good.